Hey cousins, it's y'all favorite cousin Quan, and I am here to do a little Q&A. I just been sitting and reading. I'm in quite a few groups. I get quite a few inboxes, and a lot of people's insurance questions is lack of knowledge. It's lack of knowledge, it's lack of education. And that all starts with the insurance agent. And I'm also going to say it all starts with you as well. Because people do insurance with people that they know and trust. Not just insurance, just things that you just do in general. For instance, you're going to usually ask your friends who's a good car salesman or who's a good realtor. And usually because you feel that that person has your best interest at heart. Well, when it comes down to this insurance thing, you need to make sure that that person has your best interest at heart. Because here's the thing. By the time you get into a claim and everything that should have happened, that didn't happen or could have happened, by the time it hit the claims adjuster's desk, if it hadn't happened prior to that day that the accident, the fire, or whatever happened, it doesn't matter. So therefore, the insurance company will say, we sent you out a declaration page. Is the declaration page about 70 something pages to 100? Yes. Do anybody read it? No. But that's when you go to your insurance agent, their license, that's their expertise, and ask them, what is this? What does that mean? What are my deductibles? What does this happen? Usually people don't ask those questions when they should ask those questions are because of price. My insurance is going to go up. Or, I know I'm supposed to do this, but I don't want to do this. And then sometimes it's just they never asked because they never thought about it or whatever. So I remember when I first started with State Farm, like almost 20 years ago, when I first got in the industry, that's who I was with. I always tell people that I was a State Farm baby. And at that time, those people that were in insurance at that time, they loved their jobs. So people always ask me, like, Quan, how do you know all of this stuff? Because I would call the underwriter. At that time, we had dedicated underwriters. And I would call the underwriter and I would ask them, what is this? How do I do this? Why is this? Asking those questions so that I can help my clients throughout my career. So once I left State Farm and opened up my own agency and started getting my own clients, my clientele wasn't based on just pulling in the money. It was more education because I felt like if I educated you and told you what was going on, you could never say that I didn't tell you. So if I tell you and it happens, you can't say like, well, Quan, you didn't know. I told you that this is what was going to happen. So that falls back on the insurance agent because you have to let your people know, but at the same time, if they're letting people know, are people receptive? You see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting? Are they receptive? Or are they just like, nope, just give it to me when it's cheap? So then I like to see when people say, when they mad as I don't know much. I'm talking about hotter than fish grease, hotter than somebody getting cremated. They will say, they didn't pay my claim or they did this or they did that. I like to dissect it and I like to see, like, why didn't they pay? You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not only a licensed insurance agent in 48 states, I'm a licensed adjuster as well. So therefore, I pick it up. I was a licensed public adjuster. So public adjusters work for the insured. The licensed adjuster represents the company. The insurance agent is the one that sells the policies and makes sure that you have what you're supposed to have and make sure that you're protected. So therefore, I've seen it in all different ways. So this was one of the ones that I seen that a person said that they had an accident. It wasn't their fault and they were hit head on. The insurance company refused to pay for their vehicle because the vehicle had 400,000 miles on it. And they were upset because they weren't in a situation where they can go out and purchase another vehicle. They just weren't financially in that situation. They weren't prepared to do that. And they're saying that it's not my fault. Well, number one, the reason why they did not fix your car is because the repairs were worth more than what the vehicle was worth. Although you were saying my vehicle was in good shape and Those are our possessions. Those are our things. That's our babies. I took care of it. I did everything. But you have to keep in mind, if, let's just say, to repair the vehicle, let's say the vehicle was only worth $6,000, but to repair it they wanted $20,000. You have to keep in mind, if you're the consumer and you do all your work and you about to buy a vehicle and they say, well, this vehicle is in good shape, but I want to sell it for $20,000, but you like, I'm looking at Kelly Blue Book and it's only worth $6,000. You're not gonna pay more than what the vehicle is worth. So that's why they didn't that's one of the reasons why they didn't repair this vehicle, because the repairs on the vehicle was worth more than what the vehicle was worth. And that usually happens in newer cars, especially when people are buying cars and they'll say, I owe $20,000 on my vehicle. I got into a car accident and they only owe 10. So now I have $5,000 worth of insurance that's I still owe the finance company. That's where gap insurance come in at. And gap insurance is done at the finance table. You have some carriers that offer new car replacement or loan lease replacement, but you have to make sure that what is it that carrier is offering. Because some carriers will say, we have that type of loan, new car replacement. We have those endorsements for our policy, but that endorsement doesn't mean that we'll pay your car off. It just means that if we settle your claim and we settle your claim for $10,000, we'll give you an additional 15% or an additional 10% of what we gave you. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a new car. Make sure you understand those policies that they have in place, because, and those endorsements, because they vary from carrier to carrier. And I like to tell people that carriers is like getting into a new relationship. You know how Don was different from Cedric and Sheila is different from Kim. So therefore, Progressive is different from Allstate, and Allstate is different from AAA. AAA is different from Kemper. Kemper is different from Progressive. So therefore, know your carrier and their underwriting credentials requirements, because it all varies from carrier to carrier. But to be safe, when you are purchasing a vehicle, make sure if gap insurance is offered, you have to get it at the table. Because just because you with Progressive today and then you switch and then you go over to Allstate, they may or may not offer that same endorsement. And then therefore you will find yourself in a situation where your vehicle is not fully paid off. Or like I said, if in this case, they didn't fix it because the vehicle was worth more than what the repairs were, more than what the vehicle was worth. That's the same difference when you're carrying comp and collision. Comp and collision, know the difference, because you could be paying more in insurance than what the vehicle was worth. Because and then when it's time to get the vehicle repaired, they may say, well, no, we're not going to repair it, but the blue book value of this car is only $4,000. But if you look at it, you paying $8,000 a year in insurance. You still may get something. Something is better than nothing, but you may not get exactly what you were expecting. So know what you're getting into. Ask questions, and ask questions, because by the time it hits the claims adjuster's desk, whatever happened or should have happened prior to the date of the claim, it doesn't matter, because the adjuster is going to go on what the policy reads at the time of the claim. Once again, I'm y'all insurance cousin Quan. If y'all have any more questions, feel free to comment, send me an inbox, and I will answer your questions. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye, cousins.